And welcome to the Howard Eskin Show as you are riding with the King live on Saturday morning. Obviously, you can listen to this at any time, but it is a big weekend in Philadelphia. It's a big weekend in some other cities, but it's a big weekend in Philadelphia with two big games. Obviously, the Phillies begin the playoff series against the Dodgers, and the Eagles play Denver on Sunday. Uh, I wonder if the Eagles will get a yard of offense in the second half. That was unbelievable last week that they were minus 2 yards total offense, and they still won the game. Turnovers is the whole game, and that's really what's won at least two of the games for the Eagles. But we'll talk about the Phillies, talk about the Eagles, and it's you and me. Marc Lawrence will join us to take a look at the weekend football. You and me again today. That's what we do on Saturdays. Uh, there's a link there to be part of the show, and it's really it's really kind of simple when you click on the link. Make sure you allow both the microphone and the camera. Now, if you don't want to be on camera, you can click on the camera icon and but you got to have the audio. We got to be able to hear you. So, with all that said, inviting you to be part of the show. As I said, Marc Lawrence will join us to take a look at the weekend football. And we're going to try something. I'm going to try it. We'll see how it goes this week. If in fact you can figure it out, you should be able to figure out how to record something on your phone. Go to my record a question or a comment. And the ones we use on the show will be eligible to win a prize next Saturday. We'll give you the whole week. Go to howardeskin.com, click on, send your video, or send your audio, or send both. We like that both, and I'll comment. And if we're used on the show, and we'll select one of those people at random to win a prize. That would be for next Saturday. So to submit it to howardeskin.com. All right. The Phillies, tough series. Milwaukee is probably still the best team in the National League, but the Dodgers are pretty good, especially when they have Ohtani ready to go in the first game. It just it's just I mean I it just Ohtani's here's what's interesting. The Phillies are favored in the first game, but they're not favored in the series. How can you be the first game's important in a 5-game series? But whatever the case may be, we're going to get your thoughts this weekend. And I know one game's more important than the other, but your thoughts, and if you have any hesitation or trepidation about either one of these games. But the Phillies, obviously, are the most important game of the weekend, and they play on Saturday night. But the Eagles also need to get better. And without turnovers, they don't win games. So, we'll kind of crank up all that. I see there's people already with their comments, and I didn't see this, so I'm going to have maybe Patty H can send it to me. She says, "Good morning. Can't wait to see what you have to say about AJ's tweet to Seth Joyner. So disrespectful. How do you think the Eagles should advise him? And I hope they don't force the ball to him." Well, they're going to force the ball to him. But I did not see the tweet of AJ to Seth Joyner. So if that can be sent to me, you got to, we have to stop paying attention to AJ Brown's tweets. Have to stop paying attention. Social media is so bad for players. It's so bad. I mean, I can't think of anything productive other than trying to promote a charity event on social media, and you have a platform to do that. Social media is bad for players. It's just bad. Don't get involved in something like that. But I'm gonna try to see if I can't check and see. Uh, okay, all right, send it to me, Joe. Send it to me. Yeah, all right. But before we do anything else, let me tell you that this fine program is presented by very important people, and it's presented by Stillwell Financial Advisors. Jeff Stillwell is the guy. Financial investments. You want to uh, uh, you want to secure your future. You want to have somebody help you secure your future. As crazy as the world is today, as crazy as the world is, but Jeff Stillwell can absolutely help. I know the guy. I know he knows his stuff. Give him a call, 732-343-0813. All right. I just, I guess this is going to be interesting when I see what Seth Joyner's uh, comment, what AJ Brown's comment is to Seth Joyner. Do you think Seth cares? Why would you even do that? Why would you even do that? But again, your thoughts on the Phillies. Uh, who has the toughest game? It's interesting because they're both tough games. Who has the toughest game this weekend? The Phillies in game one, because they don't play on Sunday, or Phillies in game one, or the Eagles on Sunday in their game against Denver. All right, I got the tweet, but before we do that, I want to tell you about some other important people on this show, and that would be Audi Westchester. Stopped by there yesterday, met some nice customers. They were getting, I think they said they were getting um, the new model A5. I'm almost positive. And had a nice conversation. But Audi Westchester, and this is what's great right now, and they took advantage of this. Uh, it's an offer in October, 3.99% financing for up to 72 months on the following new Audis. The the new edition, and it's not just the new year, it's the new model A5, the new model Q5, the SQ5, the Q5 Sportsback, the SQ5 Sportback, and the Q6 e-tron rear wheel drive. What you got to do is stop by. You'll have some fun looking at cars, have some fun with the people, grab a cup of coffee, grab some snacks. Audi Westchester. For more details and see their all new facility, 1421 Wilmington Pike. Don't wait. The special offer. People took advantage of the offer last month on the electric cars. The offer this month, 3.99% financing for up to 72 months on the new design Audi A5, Q5, SQ5, Q5 Sportsback, SQ5 Sportback, and the Q6 e-tron rear wheel drive. Check it all out, AudiWestchester.com. And as long as the weather remains nice, Piazza Property Pros can set your property up for for company, to make it look great, whether it's a hot tub, whether it's the fire pit, whether it's the pool. They can do all these things for you. 25 years of experience, tell you all you need to know, and they don't subcontract, which is really important. Piazza Property Pros, whether it's excavation, hardscaping, fencing, landscaping, pool maintenance too. If you want to build a pool, don't hesitate anymore. Just give Piazza Property Pros a call, and they'll talk to you about it. Call 610-566-2608. You can schedule a free consultation. Now, not everybody has a free consultation. Free consultation at 610-566-2608, or visit piazzaoutdoor.com. All right. I am going to I think I got this tweet. Here it is. Uh, at Seth, he tweeted to Seth Joyner, the audacity of you telling someone to do their job. My my stats every year backs that up, and then I'm doing mine. How about you do your job and call out the BS? Uh, Call out the BS, but you won't, because they're paying you, so you have to play along and be a good boy. These old heads can be Trip Boy. Well, who's paying him to say what he's saying? AJ, stay off social media. Hey, AJ I know he's a good guy. He's a little kind of rambunctious. He's a good guy. But come on, AJ, don't tweet. Don't press send. Here's the advice for AJ Brown. Do not press send. Why do you want to get in any kind of debate? You made the mistake of putting something up on social media in the first place. Shouldn't do it. Hey, listen, just do your job. Do your job and just play football. Forget about your job. Shouldn't be a job. It should be fun. Just play some football. All right. Do we have somebody on the line, Joe? Okay. All right. Let's go to Greg. Uh, Greg, thanks for joining the show. Greg, yeah, Greg, you were holding on. You held on all that time. All right. Greg, Greg, yeah, let's go to Paul. Paul, what's up? This is not that hard, gang. This is not that hard. This is not that hard. Come on. It's not that hard. Uh, all right, let's go to George. It's not that
Howard,
hard.
King, it's
Yeah.
easy. People, easy. Follow instructions. Make sure
I
you're on
know. It's just
Safari. Just make sure you're in Safari too,
you
everybody.
know what? They're not paying attention either. They're on hold. You got to pay attention. Now, and it's not that much in delay if you're listening on another device while you clicked on. It's not that much in delay. Just be ready. Just always be ready to the device that you clicked on. Listen on that device. All right. All
Let's
right.
go to AJ first. When he did that, I was like, dude, don't. I kept hearing you say, don't hit send, don't hit send. And it's Seth Joyner of all people. Not a good thing to say to Seth. Come talk to him.
You know what? I don't care who you say it to.
Right.
Doesn't matter who you say it because it's going to get attention because it's AJ Brown. I don't care who you say it to.
Play football.
Come on, AJ.
Just play football, man. Just play football,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
These Shears are divas, man. Just like T.O. was. Come on. Seriously, the divas.
I know. It just, hey, listen, you are a really good football player. Just concentrate on that and have some fun.
I don't like the Phillies in this series, Howard. I don't like the first two games either. I mean, the Dodgers are really good. I picked them before the season to repeat, and I think Ohtani. How the Phillies favored in Game 1 against Ohtani? What are they thinking?
Well, they're playing in Philadelphia, and Sanchez is a pretty good pitcher. So, Sanchez is pretty good. It's almost an even game at 125, but still, it just the Dodgers are starting to hit the baseball, and the fact that they only played 2 games in the wild card helps them to set up their pitching, so they're set up for the series. It's a tough series. I think it's tougher playing the Dodgers right now than it would be playing Milwaukee.
Wow. Okay, so you like the Dodgers a lot. So
I don't like them a lot. If the Phillies win the first game, they win the series.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yep. Eagles, Denver. Denver's got a great defense. What do you think about that game?
I think it's going to be another tough game for the Eagles. Their offense is just not where it needs to be. I mean,
is it the offensive line? Do you think it's
let's put it this way. I think the offensive line isn't as good as last year, but I still think they're good. The running game is clearly when a running back has all those carries, and you look at history, has so many carries the year before, he's physically okay, but there's just something. It's just your body's just not the same, and I don't know if that's it, but that could be a reason. Without Saquon Barkley being effective running the football, the Eagles' offense is just not the same because that by his being able to run effectively, it helps Jalen Hurts in what he has to do as a quarterback. So I think this is a real tough game, but I thought Tampa was going to be a tough game. I thought LA was going to be a really tough game, and they should not. In reality, they shouldn't have won that game. But 2 block field goals at the end, back to back the block field goals. That was a gimme. And the defense is good, best part of the team, but not as good. So remember, LA, the Rams moved right down the field to set themselves up for a winning
Correct.
field goal attempt. So you got to look at the reality. I know Eagles fans don't want to look at that. The Eagles are a good football team. Are they the best in the NFC right now? Yeah, probably. They're probably the best. Green Bay shows some flaws. We got to see more Detroit, but Detroit could be funny. But they play Detroit here in Philadelphia, so that's an advantage for them as well.
And they got Green Bay on the road.
Yeah. So you don't. So you're afraid of the Philly series, huh?
This line, the pitch, the first two games for the Dodgers, they got their two stud pitchers. I almost, a part of me almost thinks the Phillies are going to lose the first two games.
Wow.
Something that's not.
Well, if they lose the first two games, the series is over.
Right, I know that, but I truly think the Dodgers I picked before the season started. I think they sleptwalked through the regular season, and I think now with all that talent, they're waking up. And I just think they just were bored. Realized just get in the playoffs, and that's where we got to operate. And that's where Major League Baseball is. Think about
What do you mean
really.
they're bored? What do you mean they're bored?
Howard, every team would get into the playoffs. I mean, how the Mets didn't make is beyond me because they choked. And I always been saying for years they have no heart. And you basically you just got to get 80, 85 wins and you're in, generally speaking. Dodgers knew they have a lot of talent. All right, we just got to get into the playoff. That team should have had more wins than they had this year, Howard, although a lot of talent.
No, I don't know about that. I don't like their line. You're talking about the Phillies?
No, I'm talking about the Dodgers.
Oh, the Dodgers.
When you asked me why I think they're bored.
Yeah, well, they had some injuries, and they had some pitching injuries. And Ohtani, remember, wasn't pitching in pretty much the whole year.
Correct.
So, and they added some people that really became effective. But no, it just their lineup is better than the Phillies. But the Phillies pitching outside of Ohtani, but you got to include Ohtani for the first three starters, assuming we're not looking at Nola as the first three starters. And I don't know if they've set up their rotation yet.
Nola's number 4.
Okay, that's what he should be.
Did that during the week. The manager was on.
And that game's in LA.
Right.
Yeah. So.
But the winner of this series, I'll say this. If the Phillies find a way to win it, either one of these teams will beat Milwaukee. And I know Milwaukee is a good team. I know the Phillies went into Milwaukee. I know they lost here to them, but in a big series at the end of the year, they went into there. I know regular season doesn't mean anything, but I truly think the winner of this series represents the National League in the World Series.
Well, yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's it's just both these. I'm telling you, this weekend's a tough weekend for Philadelphia. All right, what are the chances that both Philadelphia teams win this weekend?
What's the chances? You want me to give you a percentage?
Yeah, percentage.
I'm going to say 40%.
Okay.
Now I got all Philadelphia fans jumping off bridges,
yeah,
the dog, but you know what? It's just. I mean, the Dodgers aren't a bad team. Neither is Denver. Denver's well coached.
Wow. Wow.
I try to keep it real, Howard. I love my Philly teams, and I make it no secret here in New Jersey where I stand. But I'm not a homer, and I don't drink the Kool-Aid either.
Okay. All right. Hey, thanks. Have a great weekend.
Have a
great weekend, George. Yeah, George doesn't have. Well, that's winning both. So I didn't ask him who he thought the loss would come, but he didn't sound confident for the Phillies. Ohtani is really. I mean, obviously, I don't have to tell you he's really good. I do not have to tell you he's really good. AJ Brown. AJ Brown can't help himself. Just play football. And listen, you're really an important part of the football team. Just play football. Don't worry about responding to somebody. You started the ball rolling with your tweet after the game because you were pissed off. You only got 2 catches. Obviously, he was pissed off. And he came back on, was it Wednesday? And he basically apologized, but whatever. All right, we have somebody else up there, Joe, we can go to. All right, Paul, I hope you're paying attention. Paul, you there?
I am.
All right, go ahead. What's up, Paul?
So I feel good about the series. I think we win in 5 games, but you're right. Or the caller before was right. Could lose one or both of these first 2.
Well, I don't know that they'll lose both, but yeah, I mean, to win two in a row is tough, and then they split in LA, and then you play Game 5 in Philadelphia. Uh, so, um, yeah, uh, yeah, you play Game 5 in Philadelphia. So if you split here, split in LA, the problem is I'm not confident in Nola against that lineup. I am not confident. He had a good game last game, but you played a team that was over 20 games under 500. So they're not playing. It was Minnesota. You're not playing a good team. Um, so what do you? I'll ask you the same question I asked George. I'm asking everybody. The chances of both Philadelphia teams winning this weekend would be what?
70%.
You think you think winning both games, the Philadelphia teams are 70%.
I think the Eagles are gonna take care of Denver.
I'm telling you, I questioned because it just they're good, but they're just. I guess the expectations were so high, you expect more, but without a running game, and really right now they don't have a running game. Without a running game, they're just not the same. They're not the same team. You got really good wide receivers. The offensive line protects Jalen Hurts, but the offense just isn't. Hey, without turnovers, think about how many points the Eagles' offense has scored in all four games. If you look at all four games, so they just got to get a little bit better. They do have to get a little bit better. So they got to get a little. They got to get a little bit better. Uh, and it's more on offense. The defense is good, but not as good. It just so 70%. So which team? So you think? Well, you say 70%, but you're telling me you think both teams are going to win.
Well, I think the Phillies are about a 50-50. I think the Eagles are about 90. I just feel very good about this game. However, I'm worried about Thursday night against the Giants, coming off of 4 days rest and the line being banged up the way it is. That game concerns me.
You know, I look at that game. Somehow I think they're going to split with the Giants, but if they're going to split, the Giants have to win this game. I don't know how they would win in Philadelphia. The 4 days, the Thursday night games, players have gotten used to. Players have gotten used to that kind of stuff. But it depends on how physical, obviously, this game is. And the Giants are playing an easy team. I don't know that the Giants are going to win on Sunday, and if they don't, uh, then they maybe have a little more incentive. Well, they're going to have incentive against the Eagles anyway. And Dart played well, wasn't great, but played well. But he's different for them. He's certainly better than Russell Wilson. So the Eagles, unfortunately, got Jackson Dart uh, playing against them rather than Russell Wilson, who I think is a stone cold fraud, an absolute fraud. But but forget about that game. It's the Denver game that I think is really tough. Denver's a really good team. Denver's a good team. I like their quarterback. He gets better all the time. So, do you have a problem at all with the Phillies lineup?
Big time. I feel that good pitching will generally shut them down,
Mm-hmm.
and that they're not patient at the plate. And the only way they're going to win this series is to be patient at the plate and get through the starting pitchers. And they need to run the pitch counts up because the bullpen with the Dodgers is by far their biggest weakness.
Well, it might be their biggest weakness, but it's gotten better. I'm not in love. The Phillies bullpen is, I'll say, good, not great. Do you have people missed when Duran comes in to save a game? He's always given up. He always, not always, but most of the time, he gives up at least one hit in the inning. I don't know. He's better than any other closer that they have, but I don't know that he's a lockdown guy the way everybody thought he was a lockdown guy.
Has he ever pitched in the playoffs before?
If he's only been with Minnesota, I would doubt it.
So
No,
that's a concern right there.
Yeah, maybe. There's too much hype. Just coming in, pitch the ninth inning, all the lights and all the nonsense. Hey, listen, it's great for the fans. Uh, so, all right. Hey, hey, Paul, have a great weekend.
You do the
Thanks.
same.
All right, all right. Joe, Mark Lawrence, ready? Okay. All right. Let's take a look at the weekend football. I didn't know Mark was there. Let's take a look at the weekend football. And to do that, Mark Lawrence. Mark, how are you?
Hey, I'm just terrific, Howard. How are you doing?
Just another day in paradise, Mark. What could I tell you?
As
What could I
always.
tell you? I know it's just, the college card this week is not as good as last week, I would think, but there's still a lot of good games up there. Would you agree?
I would agree. I think last week was close to an outstanding card as far as the games were matched up. We had a lot of FBS, what you call conference matchups, which makes for real good football. Not quite as many this week, but still a handful of, I think, real good games.
All right, let's take a look. Who do you like in college?
Well, college football, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a couple of undefeated underdogs and play against favorites that I think are vulnerable this week. And I think they can be exposed. The first is going to be Iowa State, who I think is right there head and head with Texas Tech as the best team in the Big 12 conference. And they're a dog here against Cincinnati, an upstart Cincinnati team who is surprising everybody so far this football season. Wasn't expected to. In fact, I think their over/under season win total coming into the year was like 6 wins. So they're playing a little bit over, above, and beyond their head here. And you got a great coach here in Matt Campbell, who's outstanding as an underdog here. They're not getting much, a point and a half, but I think they're the better team, and I think they'll win the game.
You know what, Mark? I seen that line flip back and forth. At one point, I thought Iowa State moved to the favorite, but now I'm looking again in Cincinnati. It's going back and forth. So either way, it's a point and a half. Doesn't bother you either way, correct?
No, and let me say this. As you mentioned, it's a really good point you bring out. If you like a play because it's an underdog and it's no longer an underdog and it's a small favorite, 1 or 1.5, what you would consider doing is play that game on a money line rather than laying the point or the point and a
Mm-hmm.
half. So you'd lay minus 120, 125 on the game as opposed to laying the points and get caught with a 1 point football game. So, but anyway, either a money line if they're favorite or dog if you can take the points.
Okay. All right. Who else do you like?
The other guy's going to be Maryland, a little bit of an upstart surprise team in the Big Ten this year, undefeated, taking 6 points here, I think, against Washington, who I think could be in a letdown spot. I know they lost the game to Ohio State, but it snapped a 21 game home win streak for Washington. And this is not really kind of the rebound game that they're looking to be in here. Maryland undefeated and have won the yards in every game they played so far this football season. I think the wrong team's favored personally. I like Maryland plus the points.
Okay. All right. So when you look at some of these other games, Vanderbilt, Alabama, I I guess Vanderbilt just doesn't get enough respect. Would you agree that they're a good football team?
Howard, you put tape over the names of these two teams, you'd have a difficult time asking yourself who's favored in the football contest. There's nothing Vanderbilt's done this season that has been absolutely shooting holes that you can't find them. A really good football team, offensively, defensively. They got a quarterback in Diego Pavia, who, if he beats Alabama today, again for the second year in a row, would probably be close to or the lead in the Heisman Trophy race. That's how
Mhm.
good this football program is. I think, yeah, I know revenge is a big factor here. 23-point favorites. They pulled a surprise last year, but they may be the better football team. I think you have to play Vanderbilt plus the points here.
You know what? Are there teams and that are coming off big wins that might have a letdown? Are there teams that may just have a big game ahead and could be looking ahead? Are there some of those teams that you're looking at
And there's a
this weekend?
couple. The one I think the one team that might have a letdown, and it's not major, but at least to the team it would be, and that would be Virginia. Uh, they just pulled a surprise against Florida State last week as 7 point underdogs and got outyarded in the football contest. They're going to go to Louisville, and they may find out how good Louisville really is. I don't want any part of Virginia here this week or here today, I should say. And the look ahead game has to be Illinois. What a yo-yo this team's been on. I mean, Unbelievable. Undefeated, get clocked at Indiana, come back and pull a huge upset in their next game against Southern Cal. And then who have they got on deck next week? Ohio State. A real
That's
tough, a real
that's a
tough spot for Illinois.
that is a tough spot.
Yes, it is.
That really is a tough spot. Is there a team that you think so far this season is underrated that could jump up this weekend? Because one of those teams, you don't really think about that team that much. Underrated that they could jump up and play a great game and maybe win or cover the number.
I think when you look at underrated teams, what I'm looking for is a team that was supposed to be a lot was expected from and haven't delivered the goods so far, and maybe look for their turn to come. Uh, there's nobody right at the top of my mind right now as I'm speaking that's jumping out, but that's what I would look at. Teams who were supposed to be good, favored to be maybe for sure in a bowl game, and have
Mhm.
started out a little bit slow, and then look to pounce on them, especially when they start winning football games. You got some bad teams out there that are the reverse that are not was a lot was expected, and they continue to stay bad. Uh, so I really there's not a definitive answer to that question here just yet. Uh, and what I do is I log all these teams with their stats and their statistics and see exactly how they
Uh-huh.
do what I call against the spread. And you've got some hidden teams that are out there in the against the spread type roles. But I'm going to hold that answer for next week because then we will have 5 games under our belt.
All right. So here's another game. Georgia losing last week, and now they're playing at home today. You would think they'd come out and just want to reestablish who they are, but maybe who we thought they are not. That line I just noticed has dropped again. I think it was 20 and a half, and then it went down to 19 and a half, and now I see an 18 and a half. Do you like a side in that game, Kentucky and Georgia?
Well, yeah, I do like the Kentucky side. Georgia could be exposed, as you said. They got beat, and they got beat in the yards last week. And the fact of the matter is that Georgia is not the Georgia we've come to love in the past here because they don't recruit football players anymore. They buy football players. And they can't compete now with the monies, or they're not, at least they're not competing with the monies. Kirby Smart had a big, huge edge on all of his competition in the SEC because I out recruited every one of those teams. That's not the case anymore. And Kentucky's a very scrappy football team. There's a lot of fire Mark Stoops banter out there right now about Kentucky, but this is where Kentucky really plays its best football when they look like the ugly dog, the big ugly dog that they are today. I'd have to grab the points with Kentucky.
You know what? Texas is kind of a funny team. Funny in terms of we think they're really good, but now we're not really sure if they're that good. Florida has played brutal this year, but that line keeps on going down towards Florida. Do you like a side in that game?
Well, I did like Florida when it was initially +7. Now it's down 4.5. It's really taken a hit, and I'm not going to chase a number like that. But I want to say this in Texas's defense. They opened up the preseason #1 ranked team, and they choked in Columbus against Ohio State. But take a look at their body of work this season here. They've held every opponent they've played to season low yards. Texas has, that defense has.
Mm-hmm.
And I referred to Texas Tech earlier on in earlier conversations about they have the best team that money can buy in college football because of a big booster. Only second to Texas. Texas has spent more money on their college football team than any team in all of college football. They are as good as they're supposed to be. And I think they're going to come on like a freight train and close out and probably win here again and be in that SEC championship game. So beware of Texas here. They're a lot better football team than people are giving them credit to be.
I guess just touching on last week for a second, neither one of us is surprised that James Franklin lost another game
He did.
to a top 10 ranked team. Not shocked at all. Not
No,
shocked.
no.
I mean, those poor Penn State people, and they can't get rid of him. They cost too much money. They're not going to get rid of him. He's got 6 years left. They just got to hope that another team, and he'll try to con Penn State into thinking another team is going to offer him a job. He is a brutal, and you can capitalize every one of those letters, a brutal head coach. And now he's just, well, I got to take ownership. But it was a tough game. It's just, there's always a little bit of, well, it's not all me. We played a good team. Get out of here. You suck. All right. Now let's.
It's all on him, is what it is, right?
Yeah. All right. Let's take a look at the NFL pro football. Who do you like?
I'm going to look at a couple of underdogs, better offenses, better defenses, and my adage is you better take the points with these teams.
Okay.
Not pretty dogs, but nonetheless, they don't have to be pretty to cash a ticket as long as they can cash a ticket. The first is going to be Carolina. They're a dog against Miami, who shouldn't be favored over themselves this year. The Miami Dolphins. They have a lot of problems. Miami does right now. And you've got the Miami Dolphins coming off a rare win, in which they were out-yarded in the contest again here. Carolina, not much, but better offense, better defense. This is an ideal spot for them to pick up a win on Sunday.
Carolina's not a good football team
No, they're
either.
not. No.
But that's how bad Miami is.
Exactly. Right. What does that tell you?
Right. Carolina. And the card gets kind of destroyed a little bit. Not destroyed, but because you don't know what teams are or not good football teams. All right, who else do you like?
The other guy, we're going to go to Tampa Bay against Seattle this week, and the Bucks are probably the one NFL football team that just doesn't get the love they deserve. All they keep doing is knocking out winning division games, winning their division every year, making the playoffs. Baker Mayfield is tough as all get out. We know all about him and what he can do. Again, he's going to go in there with the better offense and the better defense. And they're taking 3.5 points against Seattle, a football team that I think is a little bit improved this year, but still better offense, better defense with a gutsy football team that just knows how to win games. Give me Tampa Bay in the game.
When you at Tampa Bay has a very good coach, they have some injuries. I like their quarterback. Made a huge mistake last week. When you throw an interception, whether it was deflected or not, you don't throw that pass on first down. If there's any doubt, you live to play another down. But I still like him as a quarterback. What's interesting? I can't believe the Saints, as bad as they are a favorite against the Giants. The line is the public it kind of plays it that way. After the Giants beat the Chargers last week, are you surprised at that line at all?
I am. I'm a little surprised. I don't think maybe the Giants didn't give the love that they were due. They didn't win the game all that impressively, but nonetheless, Jackson Dart is a winner in his first start, and I think they're looking for a return to the norm out of him. He didn't really overly impress in the football game, but they got the win. And they should be favored against New Orleans here. And I don't understand why all the money comes to New Orleans all of a sudden. Everybody thinks they're going to wake up and play this week. I think it's a tough call. Before the numbers even came out, I said I want to look to fade the Giants this week off of that win, but I don't want to have to fade them and have them be a dog against New Orleans. My God, it might be the only time New Orleans will be favored this football season here. But tough game. But like you say, the line's telling you something there.
Yeah, it must be telling you something. And you got it. The Giants maybe looking ahead. They play the Eagles on Thursday night. So maybe that line is based on that a little bit. Because of that line, I would lean towards the Saints, just based on that line. It's just like, why are they 2.5? And thinking the Giants may look ahead to the Eagles game, which is at home, and it's on Thursday night. So double whammy there. I am looking, and I don't think you agree, looking for the Colts to have a comeback because they played well enough to win last week, but they didn't win. But they're 6.5 against the Raiders. Do you like a side in that game?
I don't really like a true side of the football game. I just don't think the Colts deserve to be a 6.5 point favorite. You look at their body of work here. They beat Miami, they beat Tennessee. Real nice wins, but against poor opposition here. And it's not that Vegas is any sort of opposition, but I don't know if I'm ready to hurry out and go out and lay points all of a sudden with the Indianapolis Colts.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bad spot for Vegas here, obviously. I think it's the toughest game in the card, personally, because you can make cases for both sides, but you cannot make good cases for both sides. I think it's a real tough game.
Did you think you'd see the day in the last couple of years or this year where the Baltimore Ravens are an underdog at home to a team that has, I think Houston has a losing record. If I'm not, I think they're 1-3.
Yeah, they
They
just
might,
won their first game, right?
yeah, right. How could they be an underdog at home?
Well, the reason they're an underdog is because they have not outyarded or outwon the stats in any football game they played this year. They've been absolutely pathetic. And to use that
Yes, they
same
have.
adage, put tape over the names of the teams and look at Baltimore, you'd think they'd be a bigger dog than they are in this football game here. Then there's the no Lamar Jackson part of the football equation here. That's probably the
Right. Yeah,
biggest
that's
reason. The biggest reason. But and they figured to be the solid favorite in the football game before the season even began. I think they were like a -5.5, I think, before the season even began.
right.
So you can see the big, huge swing in the game. But they have not won the yards in any football game this year. I don't want to touch them.
So you don't like the game at all?
No, I don't. No.
Okay. Another team, the Chargers. I think we both agreed we thought they were a good team. They lost last week. Now they're only 2.5 against Washington. And I know Daniels is coming back and he's going to play. Do you like a side in that game?
I like Washington pretty good here. You have
Yep.
it with the Chargers. You have what you call a snap win streak. You know, they chased that first defeat. They did it on the East Coast. Now they're going back to the West Coast here, and Washington still has put up some pretty solid numbers, even without Jaden Daniels, who is obviously, we all know, the spark plug of that football team here. This is, I think, an ideal spot for Washington to go in there and catch the Chargers with their jaw down on the mat this particular week. I think Washington wins this football game this week as well.
Yeah, I kind of look uh I kind of look at that as well. I kind of look that way. Now, all right, Buffalo. I just Buffalo has to lay so many points. I don't know that you can even look at them anymore because it's hard to take other teams against Buffalo, and that's the Sunday night game. So
Yeah,
I'll leave.
I'm not a big, huge lover of laying big points, but the one thing is, in Sunday night football games, dogs of 7 or more points have been a really rock solid side in Sunday night football games. Now, if you want to use that, to get in there and fade Buffalo with, go ahead and do that. And New England's played a little bit better brand of football this year under Mike Vrabel than they have in the past. I can only take the points with New England here.
Okay, all right. So we got to take a look at the Eagles game. Obviously, we have to take a look because it's the Eagles. Tell me what you think in that game.
Well, I think the Eagles have got to bring some sort of an A game to the table here. We haven't seen it, Howard. I keep referring to this phrase, put tape over the names of the teams. You'd think Denver would be the favorite in this football game statistically because Philadelphia hasn't shown squat this season here so far. And you win a game like they did last week and put up 200 yards of offense. It's really, really eyebrow raising time for the Eagles here. I cannot lay points with the team that hasn't outyarded an opponent yet this year. And in Denver, you got a football team here. If you look at it, they've won the stats in their games an average of 69 yards a game. The Eagles have lost the stats in their games an average of 71 yards a game.
Hmm.
If you think the Eagles are going to continue to keep winning games and losing yards, that's fool's gold. It's going to eventually catch up with you, and I think it catches up with you against a good team like Denver and a good coach like Sean Payton, who is outstanding in his career as an underdog. There's a lot of room here for Denver to get this money, bring it home here. If they don't win the game, they will at least cash this ticket.
You know what? When you look at the Eagles, um, and the fact that they were -2 yards of offense in the second half of the game, that is mind blowing.
Yes, it is.
I just don't. Without a running game, it kind of neutralizes them. And turnovers, without turnovers, the Eagles are at best 2-2.
And let me ask you this question. The A.J. Brown situation going on there, does what he's doing paralyze the football team? I mean, they're undefeated and he's crying that he's not getting the ball enough. It's like, stay in your lane and do what you do and continue on the ride and help this football team continue to win. I don't think they need this at this stage of the season here
Hey,
right now.
Mark, it got worse. First of all, the players do like him, but well, they did, and I still think they do, and they know it's just AJ. Do you know he responded to a tweet from Seth Joyner, who does some podcasting stuff, former Eagle player. He responded to him, and because Seth Joyner got on AJ Brown, it's just here is if you can read it, AJ Brown. The audacity of you telling someone to do their job. My stats every year backs that up that I'm doing mine. How about do your job and call out the BS, but you won't because they're paying you, so you have to play along and be a good boy. These old heads can be a trip boy. Well, first of all, the Eagles aren't paying him. He doesn't work for the Eagles.
Right.
Seth has been, for the most part, a very uh, opinionated guy who has criticized the Eagles many times. But AJ, just don't press send. Here's
I like that. Oh, Chris.
yeah. I should tweet AJ. Here's some advice, AJ. Don't press send. So he just can't help himself. Hey, do you have an opinion on the baseball playoffs?
I think it's I think they're really. I still think Milwaukee's going to be the team to beat out of the National League. I don't think that's going to change any at all. And the winner of the Phillies Dodgers series, I think, could end up. This could be a huge emotional series, and the winner could end up maybe letting down a tad in the next round, which I think would help Milwaukee in the long run. Just my belief. I think Milwaukee might end up winning the National League pennant.
Okay, Mark. Here's an odds question. The Dodgers or the Phillies are favored in Game 1, yet the Dodgers are favored in the series, and it's a 5-game series. You would think if they're favored in Game 1, the Phillies would be favored for the series because it's a shorter series. Any thoughts on that?
Well, it could have to do with the pitching matchup, although I'm not really all that enthralled with Sanchez and the form that he's up and down, and you never know what you're going to get from him. He can be very, very good or very,
He's
very
been
bad.
pretty good for the most part,
For the
but
most part, yes. Okay, but I've also seen him unravel, and this is a big, big pressure situation here. I think it's going to be the most watched series of the current baseball playoffs we're seeing here right now, because you have two teams that could arguably end up winning the World Series this year.
okay. All right. If people have interest in Mark's services, 800-321-7777, or on the internet, playbooksports.com. All right, Mark. Well, I wonder what the Phillies will play one, two, probably play the series will be over by next weekend. So we'll see what happens with the Phillies series next weekend. And we'll see if the Eagles can actually gain a yard and a half this this week. Mark, have a great week.
Hey, enjoy the games, Howard, and remember, don't hit send. Okay.
Yeah, don't hit send. If I send that to AJ, he's probably going to block me. All right, Mark, have a great week.
You too. Thanks, Howard.
You know who blocked me was Sherman. Richard Sherman blocked me because I went back and forth with him on Twitter one time, like it was a big deal. And I've actually met him, and we kind of put a face to the guy, and he kind of laughed. But whatever, it is what it is. C.J. Gardner Johnson blocked me, and I don't know that I've ever criticized him on Twitter. What he's kind of a different guy too. All right, so still time for you, you guys and you ladies, if you want to join the show. A couple of things I want to take care of. The winner last week of what was it? The Oakley sunglasses. Yeah, the Oakley sunglasses is Bill Panuski. I hope I pronounced that right, Bill. Bill Panuski. And the question was, Chip Carey, the two teams he thinks are going to get to the World Series, and it was Seattle and the Phillies he thought would get to the World Series. So there was many other people that had the correct answer, but you were selected at random. Bill, congratulations on winning the Oakley sunglasses. This week, we're going to have a Chickies and Pete's gift certificate, and I will come up with a question for you this week for that. And what you got to do, it's pretty simple. Through my website, howardeskin.com, you submit your answer. We'll get the answers, your responses, by Tuesday, October 7th, and we'll announce it on the show on Wednesday, October 8th, where Brian Baldinger will be our guest, talk a little football. That's at 7:30 live on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And if you subscribe to YouTube, I think if you follow me on and ask for a response on Twitter, it'll notify you when the show comes on live. But certainly on YouTube, if you subscribe, it notifies you as soon as we go on. And let me thank our presenting sponsor, an important part of this show, Stillwell Financial Advisors. Jeff Stillwell. I know when people are really happy with Jeff because he's got some great ideas to protect your money, to invest your money, and help you set up a better part of your future financially. Jeff Stillwell, 732-343-0813, 732-343-0813. Also, I want to tell you about another great deal at Audi Westchester. Last month, they had a great deal, and a lot of people took them up on it. They did a lot of good things with the electric cars, but now it's on all the vehicles. 3.9% financing for up to 72 months on the following. Well, actually, not on all the vehicles, on the following new Audis. New designs, new models. The A5, brand new. Q5, same thing. SQ5, the Q5 Sportback, the SQ5 Sportback, and the Q6 e-tron rear wheel drive. Stop by Audi Westchester for more details. Great deal. 3.99% financing is really, really good. Really good. The all new facility, 1421 Wilmington Pike. You have some fun looking at cars, and the people are really nice. I mean, it just, yeah, you grab a cup of coffee, grab some snacks, you can do it all. It's a great deal. 3.99% financing up to 72 months on the new redesigned Audis, the A5, the Q5, the SQ5, the Q5 Sportback, the SQ5 Sportback, and the Q6 e-tron rear wheel drive. Check it out at AudiWestchester.com. All right. Piazza Property Pros. Piazza Property Pros can do a lot for you. They can make your property really look special, whether it's a hot pit, whether it's a hot tub, fire pit, hot tub, redesigning your property, putting a pool in, landscaping, fencing, whatever it is, excavation. Piazza Property Pros know their stuff. 25 years of experience. That says a lot because they don't subcontract. When you don't subcontract, it's their people and it's good stuff. Give them a call and they'll come out for a free consultation. Free, and some companies don't give you a free consultation. Here's the number: 610-566-2608, 610-566-2608, or check them out on the internet, piazzaoutdoor.com. All right, the Phillies are interesting. The Phillies game is interesting. It's interesting because you got Ohtani. If it wasn't Ohtani the first game, you probably wouldn't concern yourself that much with it. But you got to concern yourself with it a little bit, don't you? Because of it's just I you got to concern yourself because it's a 7-game series. The first game isn't as important. It just, I see, well, it's a tough series. It really is a tough series. And the Eagles, it's a tough game. And A.J. Brown, I didn't realize A.J. responded to Seth Joyner. It's just, you can't do that. You can't do that. I see Mario here. It's all about money, A.J. Brown. He shouldn't worry about the money. He's making $32 million a year, and he's got another year left at that number. And then it comes into, fake numbers. But I see Yale Roth. Social media is, as the term that Jalen Hurts got from Nick Saban, it's rat poison. It is rat poison. It probably is rat poison. It's just, don't press send. I don't want to start a little Twitter war with AJ Brown, but don't press. Here's my advice to you, AJ. It just, don't press send. Just don't press send. People have opinions. welcome you. Joe, do we have anybody hanging in to go on? Okay, let's go to Tony. Let's see how wonderful he looks this week. Tony, we always see a lot of your forehead, Tony, but that's okay. You're better off
Right.
with us. How are you?
Pretty good, King. Hey, yeah, you're right. AJ's a distraction. I mean, you're supposed to be a team here, you know. They're 4-0, you know. Don't rock the boat here. You're supposed to be looking at the Broncos. You know, they're the problem. What do you think?
Well, the Broncos are a good team, and you can't just. And I know the team doesn't overlook them because they can't look ahead to the Giants. Who cares about the Giants because they're a losing team? They're not looking ahead. They're not looking ahead. But Denver's a good team. Denver is a good team.
Oh yeah, you know, they got to be on their guard this week. They should turn the page as far as the second half. I mean, if they score this, you know, in the beginning, the first quarter, and by the second half, they should, you know, adjust now. I don't know whether they will or not.
Well, how were they the second half last week? -2 yards of total offense.
Right. Well, they talked to Barkley, right? And he realizes, hey, you know, he's got to get on his game, you know.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think mentally he's still the same hardworking, tough guy. But sometimes your body, after all those carries last year, he's not hurt, but physically, it's just something about players that have all those carries the year before that the next year, historically, not all the time, but historically, is not the same year. I just don't. I'm not sure about that. So I'm not sure about that.
Mm-hmm. And the Phillies, how about with Walker Buehler? You know, when they picked him up, he should be a key factor. You know, pitching against his old team.
Why is that?
Well, I mean, he has that. You know, he's a good pitcher. The ball moves and stuff like that. But I mean, you know, I think he'll be a better pitcher to face the Dodgers than.
All right, I'm going to ask you a question I asked earlier to a couple of people. Your percentage of in Philadelphia, the Phillies and Eagles both winning this weekend. The percentage, your percentage.
I'm going to say 50%.
So you're kind of lukewarm on them winning both. So who do you think has the biggest? Because the Phillies don't play on Sunday, they have the day off. They had to because the Eagles are playing at home. That would have been chaos. Actually, it's going to be a little bit of chaos today. You got a Flyers game, which is a preseason game. You got a Temple game. You got a Phillies game, and I don't think the Phillies people who like to park in one of the lots in front of the link are going to be able to park there until right before the game. Because there's a Temple game and they have the right to that lot. So it's going to be interesting, the traffic down there. But, so which team, if it's only 50%, which team do you think has the biggest chance of losing, the biggest percentage of losing?
Probably the cherry and white.
Oh, so you're worried about the Phillies, huh?
No, the Temple cherry and white.
No, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about between the Phillies. Temple's an underdog. Come on, man. Come on, give me a break. Between the Phillies and the Eagles, not Temple.
I'm going to say. No, I'm going to say the Eagles are going to win.
So you think the Phillies have the biggest chance of losing?
Yeah, I think
Okay. All right. All right,
But
Tony.
give or take, you never know how Bryce Harper's going to be in the playoffs. Schwarber will, but
Well, wait a minute. I don't know how Bryce Harper's going to be. I saw a comment here that the Phillies the Phillies don't score without home runs. Uh, I see Mark here. Will the Phillies be able to get runs without using the home run? I I don't know. They're not a team that puts the ball in play as much and scores runs without home runs. Uh, so. It's really kind of tough. Uh, I don't know that they're going to get home runs against Otani. The Dodgers are a good team. The Phillies are a good
oh
team.
yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, Otani too. If he gets his game, once they score those runs, it's catch up time.
Who?
If the Dodgers get like that 7-run lead,
Yeah.
then
Yeah. All right. All right. Hey, Tony. Thanks for joining in. I
All
see
right,
Danny
good show,
says.
King.
All right. Thanks. He says the Eagles on the chat. Eagles are 80% winning. The Phillies 50% chance. So, I think with Otani pitching, you have to worry. And the Dodgers have started to score some runs. That was against the Cubs. They started to score some runs, so that's kind of tough. Phillies can beat any team when playing at home or on the road. Yeah, so can anybody. On the road, not so much. Angelo, Patty H, she's giving it 70%. Patty, I guess the Phillies have the biggest chance. I see Dale 75%. Once again, I need 2022 Bryce Harper. I don't know if 2022 Bryce Harper is coming back. All right, Cowboy Jim decided to join. Uh, we're going to make it quick because you got in at the end. Go ahead, Nitwit.
First of all, you dope. You haven't talked anything about the Phillies and having this time off. You haven't said anything about that. That's going to be a deterrent. They're not going to win because they took a whole week off, and you
Yeah,
haven't
well,
said
they
anything
had an
about it.
Wait a minute, you forgot about the inter squad game on Wednesday.
Oh, please! And they should have let people go in for free, for crying out
Well,
loud.
yeah, they probably should have. Yeah,
And
they
then
probably should have.
and then you're not worried about the Giants. They'll have it Monday off. Tuesday who knows what they'll practice a little bit on Tuesday. Wednesday's a travel, and then they have the game Thursday night.
No, I don't think they're not going to take Monday off. When you play a Thursday game, the Eagles are going to both teams.
Well,
They do
yeah.
something on Monday. They
Yeah.
don't do anything physical, but they get some of the meetings out
Oh,
of the
right.
way.
Well,
They
they'll get something done, but
Yeah.
barely anything. And you got all these players doing interviews and shows on WIP and stuff like that. It's just not. They're not going to be ready for the Giants.
Well, they actually get paid for it, so that's why they do it.
Well, yeah.
You think they do it every week if they didn't get paid for it?
Yeah.
No.
Well, and
And just think, they're getting money out of that company that doesn't have a lot of money because Odyssey is still over $300 million in debt.
Yeah.
So it's
And
just
as for the Phillies, the Dodgers' relief pitching is horrible. It's like the Cowboys' defense. So I see the Phillies winning the series. So that's it. Goodbye. Have a good weekend.
oh yeah, it's just so charming to have you join the
You're the
program.
best.
I
Love
know
you,
I
King.
am. All right, see you. You're riding with the king. Go take a ride. Go take a ride. All right. A couple of things I want to take care of before we move on. Number one, the question. The question this week. The question this week to win a Chickies and Pete's gift certificate? Who does Mark Lawrence think will come out of the National League? Who does Mark Lawrence think will come out of the National League? Submit your response to my website, howardeskin.com, by midnight, Tuesday, October 7th. Watch the show Wednesday, October 8th, when Brian Baldinger will be our guest. We're live on X, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Subscribe to YouTube and it'll notify you as soon as we come on. But you can watch the show anytime. Baldinger, who breaks down games as well, if not better than anybody. and the winner will be randomly chosen from all our correct entries. The question again was, who does Mark Lawrence think will come out of the National League? Also, I want to mention that to support two very, very fine organizations, Brandywine Valley SPCA and Providence Animal Center, uh, posting my picks and the donations for the picks in college and the NFL. The donations go to Brandywine Valley SPCA and Providence Animal Center. And, you know, I know Brandywine brought in 100 dogs from a facility because they weren't being taken care of. I won't say it was from a private home. It's amazing that somebody has 100 dogs and not taking care of them, but they do a lot of good work. So does Providence Animal Center. So, and your donations go to those people and support them. Thanks for joining. Thanks to Joe Gangemi for doing the technical stuff on this show. And thanks to Tony Anastasia for all the graphics and all the good things that she does on the website. And thank you for joining this show. And I hope you have a great weekend. I hope everything that happens is good. And yes, Bryce Harper has got to be the Bryce Harper of old, but I don't know that we're going to see that Bryce Harper again. Maybe in spurts, but you got to hope this spurt is happening now. Thank you. And thank everybody. And we'll see you on Wednesday. Busy day in Philadelphia between the Flyers, Temple, and the Phillies. And obviously the most important with the Flyers preseason game and Temple football game. Phillies is the most important today in Philadelphia. And then tomorrow, the Eagles will be the most important. Have a great weekend. Take care.